Of you who say stuff like, no one owes you anything, Heather. Actually, they do. Look up Marcy's Law. Have you ever been jumped and stabbed 11 times?
And yes,
what about?
I do think this case should take precedence to most other cases. Let's talk about it. Home invasion, rape, a bludgeoning, being jumped and stabbed. I have been attacked in every fucking way that there is. There are no crimes more violent than the ones I've lived through.
All of you who say stuff like, no one owes you anything, Heather. Actually, they do. Look up Marcy's Law. Have you ever been jumped and stabbed 11 times?
She mentioned that she had gotten stabbed with a screwdriver coming out of prison to visit you.
So
Help me understand what is going on with Heather.
now,
She high. What is happening?
okay, I'm not gonna let me set a precedent so you can see that there's a pattern of behavior. Okay.
Okay.
So the first incident wasn't with an inmate or an inmate's girlfriend. It was with an officer. There was an attractive, light-skinned female officer, and we were cool, right? She was just nice to me, fair, you know what I mean? Would treat me like a human and not like a prisoner, you know? And she was working in the visiting room. Now, she had actually given us extra time already. And she politely asked Heather to leave. And I mean, Heather had been accusing me of having sex with this officer while I was in prison, right? Which it's not happening, all right?
Right.
If it would, I would have tried to pull it. It's not happening. They actually got into a damn near physical altercation. I mean, like fingers in the chest. I mean, she's like, hey, Smith, at the end, she says, excuse me, inmate Smith, could you just tell your visitor it's time for her to leave? Heather says, I'm not leaving. Our time's not up yet, with an attitude. And I'm like, hey, listen, calm down. You have to understand. Like, A, she's cool. And B, I have to ask these people for toilet paper.
Right.
Be cool, please, please, please. You know, and I mean, I think they actually like took it outside, you know, into the parking lot where like the verbal altercation continued. And, you know, I actually had to like go to this officer and apologize. And she's like, Smith, look, you go to me. I know that was not you. Okay. Incident 1. Incident 2. One of my buddies, GT, and just a bunch of us, like all the guys, we would always get the last visit, right? Because the last visit, you get the extra time, usually you get a cool officer. So, you know, because it's supposed to be just hug, kiss, and goodbye, bail.
But she's your wife. You guys are legally married though, right?
No, we're not.
You guys are never legally married?
We are not legally married. We were never legally married. They do not and are not even perform marriages in prison in the state of Illinois.
So why is she saying that she was married to you?
I gave her a ring when I was in the county, just as a token of my commitment to the commitment that she was making to me, signing up to ride with me for some years.
Where did you get a ring in the county?
I smuggled it in. No, I made it. You know.
Okay. So she gave her a ring in the county. She thought she was your wife so she was saying, so you guys didn't have conjugal visits. Okay, so this is the second incident. Okay.
Now, the last visit, it's busting, all right? You grab booty, tongue kissing, everybody knows. So
God.
all the guys, right. So all the guys, you know, we all try to schedule it, get the last visit. And for 3 weeks in a row, Heather had just been staring daggers at this girl, right? And it all started because Heather had just cut her hair into that like short pink cut. I think you guys seen her with it on the show.
Yeah, we've seen it.
And this girl was actually a friend. I mean, the girlfriend of one of my buddies. You know,
Okay.
we're close, like this, on the deck together. You know, hanging out, lifting weights all day. And so he's like, "Oh, this is his girl." And so he tried to like low key introduce them, and she said, "Oh, hey, nice haircut." And Heather thought she said dykey haircut. And literally that kicked it off. And so
Okay.
I'm sitting here talking to her, "Hey babe, how you doing? I miss you. Oh, can't wait to come home. What are we gonna
Right.
do?" And she's literally staring across the table like this
Oh,
at this other girl.
uh-huh.
And I'm telling her like, "Hey, look, like, be cool. Like, what's the problem?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing, no problem, nothing at all." And she actually,
That looks just like her mannerism when you did that. Okay.
I've seen it once or twice.
Yeah.
But, she actually ended up chasing this girl in her car from Joliet back to Chicago, like 2 weeks in a row. Right.
What?
Yeah. So
She said that the girl met her at the gas station and stabbed her.
So on the third week, right,
I'm sorry.
this girl's like, "Hey, I'm scared. There's someone chasing me home on the highway after going to visit my man. Hey, girls, could a couple of you maybe come with me and just make sure that I'm cool?"
Mm.
Now, everybody comes to visit, visits end, they leave, and that girl walks out by herself. Heather actually walks out with the girl of another friend of mine, another mutual friend. And so I guess there were 3 girls in a car, and they hopped out. They started talking trash to each other. And Heather was actually the one who said, I believe, "Hey, if you guys want to do something, why don't you let's not do it on prison grounds, and why don't you meet me at the gas station?"
Yes, she admitted that she was the one.
Catch me outside.
Yeah,
Now, I mean, look,
as if she's skinny as a toothpick. I mean,
and here's
I wouldn't do that. But
and here's the thing, right? We're 30 or older. You know, you're a parent. Like that's not how you're supposed to conduct yourself. You're not supposed to be fighting people in the streets over a comment made about your hair.
no,
And definitely not asking for it and instigating it.
right.
Yeah.
No, you lose your children and your freedom and your car that you drove in there with it. Just like that. Yeah.
Real quick, right? Now, so she goes to the gas station. The girls, I guess, pull in after her, and she got out of the car. And I believe after that, we weren't sure what happened. So the girl that left with Heather that I knew had called her man, had called her to check in, like, "Hey, babe, you get home okay?"
Okay.
My buddy Rick and his girl Jamie's like, "Hey, look, I'm here. Heather just got stabbed, and she's in the ambulance right now."
Oh my.
Now I freak out immediately. I freak out. I call my mom. I call my dad. They're calling like every hospital. And overnight, you know, and I've had someone very close to me, one of my best friends in high school, pass away, and like we were waiting for a response to see just if she was going to be okay or not. And the response that we got was, well, she's not here, right?
Okay.
Because, like, HIPAA, they can't like confirm or deny. And so the last time that, you know, me and my family received that response, someone very close to us had just died, right?
Yeah.
So I had to hold on to that overnight to find out that really what had happened was exactly what I described. She instigated an entire incident. She didn't get stabbed 14 times. I've seen her naked. You know, you would know if somebody had been stabbed with a
Yeah,
knife.
that's an
or
excessive
you have
amount
to
of
go-
stabbings.
There's gonna be like a something, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was like a minuscule mark. It might have been from like one of those like little Phillips or yeah, flathead screwdrivers, something
Okay.
like that. It looked like a small flat.
So, but
dull-
somebody did stab her, but she made it so dramatic.
Look at me. I haven't had Botox in like 6 months. I haven't had Juvederm in like a year. Oof. Rough.
She put some on. Yeah, she put some.
Okay. But she initiated this fight as well. I mean, we've seen her behavior and we've seen her initiate several fights with you for no reason. I mean, I don't understand how she just didn't enjoy herself. I'm confused about that part. Because life is about enjoying yourself. And I just knew when I saw you on the show, I said, oh, she's about to have a wonderful time. And it just did not happen that way. Just let you know that Heather has talked about experiencing systematic racism. Now, mind you, she's a white woman. So a lot of us are confused as to how she is claiming that while she was visiting you and while she was in the facility and part of her experiences with being, holding you down, quote unquote, was the experience of systematic racism. And that she wanted that part to be on Love After Lockup, but that it wasn't. So the question was, what was your experience like, and what was the different mindset you had to adapt to, keeping in mind that Heather has mentioned the systematic racism?
Let me just address that first and kill it immediately. It's not systematic racism, it's systematic rudism. Systematically, if you go around and you're rude to people, the world will not be kind back. They won't give you positive energy back. If
Right.
you go around and you're
Systematic racism, you feel like it was systematic rudism that she was experiencing, which I myself have experienced as well. And I would agree with that statement more than the other one based on her skin tone.
And so whether the population was black, white, it didn't matter. She's experiencing systemic racism from all races. So unless you're a race of your own, it's not a problem that they have with your race. It's a problem that they have with you as an individual and their experience with you.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. I don't think that she understands the definition of systematic racism. I think it was